Welcome to Amplify with White Knight Productions. I'm your host, Gavin Tice, and at White Knight, we're all about amplifying voices through storytelling. And in this series, we'll be connecting with industry professionals who know how to boost messages far and wide. Today, we're very excited to talk with Kerry Barrett. Kerry is a producer, reporter, Emmy Award-winning anchor, and founder of Kerry Barrett Consulting, where you can boost your business, brand, and expertise by bringing out your inner rock star to give the performance of your life. Here to empower your performance skills and give us some tips on how to overcome your fears of public speaking, welcome, Kerry.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So given your professional experience and vast career in front of the camera, what are some of the steps that you take before appearing on screen?
Well, as you can see, doing my hair is not one of them. I generally try and look my best. Some of the steps that I take before I get ready to go on camera are obviously making sure that my gear is set up correctly, that my mic is where it needs to be, that my lighting is where it needs to be, and that I am where I need to be in this little box that you see. So what does that mean exactly? Generally speaking, when it comes to lights, and this is never a one size fits all answer because it depends on what you have going on in the background. It can even depend a little bit on what you're wearing, your skin tone, your hair color, all that other good stuff, what time of day it is. But generally speaking, the best practice is to have even light sort of surrounding you. So I'm sitting in front of a wall of windows, almost floor to ceiling and wall to wall. Despite that, I still have a bunch of ring lights around me. So I have two ring lights that are up, slightly angled downward and in, and I have two additional ring lights on either side. The reason that I don't have one directly in front of me, and this will be more applicable to those of you who are watching this who wear glasses, is that when you generally have the ring light right in front of you, you get the reflection. It doesn't matter if you have anti-reflective lenses, you get alien eyes. And although aesthetically that can be distracting, the more damaging component of having those reflections in your glasses is that people can't see your eyes. And then when it comes to me or you or whoever is in front of the camera sitting where they need to be, generally speaking, I divide the screen into a rule of thirds, which is 3 equal pieces of the pie, if you will. And you, the subject, should be sitting smack dab in the center. Now, where that varies is if you have like a lamp or a potted plant that will look like it's sprouting out of the top of your head if you sit directly in the middle of the screen, in which case you might want to sit slightly screen right or screen left. But the other key is to make sure that you are keeping sort of the dead space, and by dead space, I mean the space that's not you, to a minimum. That means you want to have a minimum of headroom. It doesn't mean that you need to be up in somebody's business like this. That's awkward too. But it means that you are showcasing your authority and your credibility, and you're not afraid to be present in that video box, and you're not sort of like shirking off to the side with shifty eyes and giving us a general bad feeling about who you are and what you may be up to.
Getting in front of the camera can be uncomfortable and an awkward experience for some people. So what are some tips that you would give to help people feel more empowered behind the camera?
So I understand that feeling. I spent 20 years in an on-camera career, and when I transitioned to doing all of my speeches and presentations virtual, meaning I can't see the audience at all and there's nobody here to play with, I felt like I was speaking into a black hole. So number one, if you are uncomfortable, realize that you're not alone, and even the pros had a moment where they had to adjust. The key is doing it on the regular. I always suggest opening up a room in Zoom or whatever platform it is that you use and practicing, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, whether you're delivering your elevator pitch, whether you are just ad-libbing about something going on in your business or your life, and then going back and watching, because truly, it doesn't matter. And I tell my clients this all the time. It doesn't matter how much I tell you about what to do. You may walk away from one of our sessions saying, oh my God, I know all the secrets. It's entirely different when you are executing on what you've learned. You really do have to perform the words. And by that, I mean, really get into what you're saying. You have to be enthusiastic. The camera eats energy for lunch. So if you are like just semi-enthusiastic about what you're talking about, everybody will know that you don't give a beep. So make sure that you are fully into it. The other thing is being aware of body language. So like when I'm talking to someone on camera and I'm about to tell them something that I think is really cool, I lean in and I tell them the thing that I think is really cool, because when you lean in, you're leaning closer to your audience and you are letting them know non-verbally that this is something that's really cool and you're going to want to pay attention.
So, what are some ways you can develop some better public speaking skills?
One of the things that people really struggle with is where they should look when they are talking on camera. And if you were talking to someone in person, generally speaking, you would look them in the eye. You wouldn't be having a conversation with you here and me looking down over here at what you can only assume is hopefully not something else entirely different, but a monitor that has your face on it. And that's why I'm looking in this direction. Really, though, you're here, right? When I look here, this is where you can see me looking you in the eyes. When you are talking, you should be looking into that little camera right up at the top of your monitor, the one that I just covered with my finger. And I know that that feels weird, because when you do that, you can see the faces below you or wherever they are, and you feel like you should be looking at them. But when you're looking at them, you're actually not looking the person in the eye. So Gavin, I'm now looking at your face. But when you're looking at me in the monitor, you can clearly see that I'm not looking at you. I'm looking down at something. When I'm looking like this, that's when I'm looking you in the eye. And so I always have to remind people, as weird as it feels, remember the person on the other side doesn't feel any of that. All they see is you looking them in the eye. And that is, outside of a smile, hands down the easiest way to establish rapport and build a connection, especially when you're only speaking to someone or a group via a computer, right? If you are lacking that eye contact portion, you are missing out on a massive opportunity.
So, videos continuing to increase in popularity. How have you seen testimonials and interviews help business owners boost their messages?
Okay, I can't even begin to tell you how important video is. Every company is a media company, and if you're not on that video train, it's about to run you down, and you will be irreparably damaged. The usage rate has increased something like 190% over the past 12 months. We know that video emails have an 80% higher open rate. We know that 90% of consumers make a decision, a purchasing decision based on video. And we know that people spend billions of hours online every single day, cumulatively around the globe. So that's where your clients are. And if you're not there, you're not in front of them. You need to be where your clients are. We realize that video is a salesperson 24/7, 365, while we're asleep, during the weekends, and over the holidays. And so not putting out video content is a dire mistake. Client testimonials, I cannot overstate how important they are for you to have on your website. Not just have them, but actually show them. There is a reason that companies may have 5,000 positive Yelp reviews, but they will choose to put 5 client testimonial videos on their website instead and highlight those. And that is because anybody can do a Yelp review, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. There's no proof that anybody creating that review has any vested interest in either protecting the public or helping the business. We don't know who they are. It is far less likely that someone is willing to put their face, name, voice, and credibility on the line to testify for a business that they've had a crappy experience with. And so the thing about the client testimonials, not only is it enormously trustworthy, but also it helps potential clients see your business through other clients' eyes.
Sharing brand stories is a great way to spread your message. Can you tell me a little bit about what brand stories are and how they can help your business?
The reason brand stories are so powerful is because if done well, they should really give sort of a behind the scenes look at your business and the way that that's important through your client's eyes. So it is about what you do, how you do it, why your clients love you, but it's also telling that story through their eyes and why it's important to the client. So for example, a great brand story, and they can be structured in any number of ways, but a great brand story is a video piece. It's usually a little longer format, anywhere from 3, and I have seen up to about 7 minutes if it's really compelling and visually stimulating. And you have some great sound bites. But it's a longer format story, and it consists of B-roll, right? So video of your business and operations and you doing your thing, and maybe you doing your thing with clients if you're a coach. It usually includes some client sound bites as well, testimonials, if you will, about them and their work with you. And then it obviously involves sound bites with the business owner and perhaps some of their employees as well. And woven correctly, meaning scripted and produced, it tells this compelling, visual, interesting story where you're getting some behind the scenes, peeks at how this business works, and you really understand how they can help you. Stats and data and all that stuff are great, and they're important, and we need to know them. But generally speaking, it's the stories that stick with us far longer than the statistics and the data do. And so if you can tell your story, even if you are working in an industry that might be painted as sort of bland, finance, insurance, I'm looking at you. There is a way to tell that is compelling and interesting and creative. I created a brand story for a woman who's a graphic designer, and with 0 promotions except for posting on social, a couple months later, it has 40,000 views, 41 actually as of yesterday. So a brand story done properly can be incredibly compelling.
To learn more about Kerry and her business, please visit kerrybarrettconsulting.com. And to hear more insider scoops on how to amplify your story, be sure to follow White Knight Productions on your preferred social media for updates of future episodes.